Pop quiz. Which shapes who you become more? Your earliest bodily needs or your social world? You've got 5 seconds. Time's up. The truth is, both forces matter. But Freud and Erikson argued over which force drives each stage of life. In this video, you'll learn the basics of psychoanalytic stage theory, race through Freud's 5 psychosexual stages, compare them to Erikson's 8 psychosocial stages, and spot the big ways they overlap and clash. First, meet the theorists. Freud, a Viennese neurologist, believed that biology and unseen urges steer development. Then, Erikson, a German-American psychoanalyst, agreed, yet insisted society keep its hands on the wheel. Both men pictured life as a ladder of stages. Freud climbed 5 rungs ending in adolescence. Erikson extended the climb to 8, reaching late adulthood. First, stage 1 is infancy, from birth to about 18 months. It pairs Freud's oral stage, satisfaction through the mouth, with Erikson's trust versus mistrust. Consistent feeding, soothing, and attuned routines teach the infant that the world is safe and caregivers are dependable. Building the virtue of hope. When care is inconsistent or neglectful, mistrust can take root, showing up later as wariness and difficulty relying on others. From there, stage 2 is toddlerhood, from about 1 to 3 years. Freud highlights the anal stage, control and toilet training, while Erikson frames this as autonomy versus shame and doubt. Supportive scaffolding, such as simple choices, patient coaching, and safe limits, grows willpower and self-control. On the other hand, over-control, ridicule, or constant rescue can tip kids toward shame, doubt, or power struggles. Next, stage 3 moves into early childhood, from about 3 to 6 years. Freud's phallic stage and identification with caregivers overlaps Erikson's initiative versus guilt. Children plan games, ask questions, and try out roles, which are early sparks of purpose. Encouraging effort while setting kind boundaries channels initiative. Harsh criticism or moralizing can breed guilt and hesitation to act. As the school years begin, stage 4 spans roughly 6 to 12 years. Freud describes latency, a quieter drive period, while Erikson emphasizes industry versus inferiority. Practice and feedback in schoolwork, arts, and sports build competence. Repeated failure without support or constant comparison can seed feelings of inferiority. By adolescence, stage 5 covers about 12 to 18 years. Freud's genital stage signals integrated sexuality and renewed energy for relationships, while Erikson spotlights identity versus role confusion. Teens explore values, groups, vocations, and beliefs, ideally forming a coherent sense of self and the virtue of fidelity. When exploration is blocked or chaotic, confusion can surface as shifting personas, indecision, or relying on others to define who they are. Quick recap. We've mapped Freud's 5 stages against Erikson's early crises, from oral trust to identity versus role confusion. Perfect moment to lock that in. Curious how much you're remembering? Your personalized practice test, flashcard set, and study guide are all waiting for you. Just tap the link now and keep watching. Future you will thank you. With the early stages set, Erikson carries the arc into adulthood. Intimacy versus isolation, then generativity versus stagnation, and finally integrity versus despair in old age. Now that identity has taken shape, we move into stage 6 on Erikson's theory, young adulthood, ages between 18 to 40 years old. It focuses on intimacy versus isolation. After identity comes connection. Can I share my life without losing myself? With a stable sense of self, people risk vulnerability, practice reciprocity, and maintain healthy boundaries. When this goes well, the virtue of love develops and shows up in deep friendships and committed partnerships. When it doesn't, isolation can appear as fear of commitment, surface-level bonds, or dependence that crowds out autonomy. Next is stage 7, midlife. It occurs between the ages of about 40 and 65. It centers on generativity versus stagnation. The driving question is, will my work and care outlive me? Generativity shows up in parenting, mentoring, leading teams, building communities, and creating ideas or products that serve others. Success grows the virtue of care and a lasting sense of contribution. When blocked, people can feel stuck, self-absorbed, or bored. Reinvesting skills in teaching, volunteering, or creative projects can restore momentum. Finally, stage 8 is late adulthood, from about 65 years onward. It addresses integrity versus despair. This is a time of life review. Did my life make sense? And of making peace with imperfect chapters. When integrated, people experience wholeness, gratitude, and the virtue of wisdom. When not, regrets can harden into bitterness or fear of death. Practices like storytelling, reconciliation, and passing on lessons tilt the balance toward integrity. The theories share common ground but also important differences. They both emphasize unconscious processes, ordered stages, and the impact of early caregiving. Freud ties each stage to biological pleasure zones, while Erikson centers on social tasks and culture, and extends development into adulthood. Quick recap: Freud's 5 psychosexual stages focus on bodily needs. Erikson's 8 psychosocial stages focus on relationships. But both theories agree that early experiences echo throughout life. Now that you've watched the video, let's see how much you remember. Head to the link in the description where you'll find Quizlet, content made just for you.